This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Yesterday in a video, I talked about an attack on Kayleigh McEnany from Donald Trump. You'll remember Kayleigh McEnany as one professional propagandist, the press secretary for Donald Trump, who would lie on command as though she's a wind-up doll for Donald Trump. She was one of several. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, same deal. But Kayleigh McEnany was special in that she was undeterred by legitimate criticism. I guess they all are in that way. But if you remember when they had their healthcare plan that was 2 weeks away for years, in 2 weeks, we're going to release the healthcare plan. We're going to repeal and replace healthcare plan. We've already got it all. And then she handed Leslie Stahl, I believe it was, this massive binder that was ostensibly the contents of which held this magical healthcare plan that had been devised out of the genius, brilliant mind of Donald Trump. Apparently, this is what it was. And then Leslie Stahl came out and said, yeah, it was just a binder pretty much filled with nothing. There was no healthcare plan in there. It was a lie. It was for the cameras. And this is Kayleigh McEnany's whole deal. She is wildly unqualified to do anything else. And she somehow found herself in Donald Trump's good graces for a moment, until she read some polling numbers or something and made an analysis that wasn't even anti-Trump. He freaked out on True Social. I'll remind you, this is from yesterday. I don't need any advice from Rhino, Republican in name only, someone who sold her soul to be loyal to Donald Trump. He's now attacking, calling her Rhino. I don't need any advice from Rhino, Kayleigh McEnany on Fox. Just had a giant victory over a badly failing candidate, Bird Brain, and she's telling me what I can do better. Save your advice for Nikki. Rails Donald Trump on True Social. Well, obviously, Kayleigh McEnany heard this. The message was received, and she slid right back into the obsequious, lapdog, ass-kissing, sycophantic behavior of all the yes men that surround Donald Trump. And there was a Biden supporter on the Outnumbered or whatever the goofy show is with the curved couch. And he's defending Joe Biden and talking about the mental and the cognitive decline of Donald Trump. And she trips all over herself in the most humiliating way to defend Donald Trump, cutting the guy off, not letting him talk, and telling him how you can't say that. You can't say that. Watch this.
We're going to have a replay of what we saw in 2020. And there's a lot of concerns, actually, that I've seen now recently with Donald Trump on the stuff.
You cannot compare the two.
Absolutely, we can. You know, last night he said he won New Hampshire in the general election. He lost it to Hillary Clinton, lost it to Joe Biden by 7 points.
You
right?
cannot compare the two.
Kayleigh, he mixed up Nikki Haley. He mixed up Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi for minutes on end in his speech and came back to it. So there are a lot of verbal miscues. There's a lot of gaffes between these two men.
Two-thirds of the American people think that President Biden is too old. They do not say that about Donald Trump. So you can say this, you can make this argument, you can spew the DNC talking points.
It's not as high as Joe Biden, but a majority of people feel the same way about Donald Trump. Can I just point out?
Look. All that dude is saying is they're both old guys. This kind of goes into the video I talked about yesterday, where they're actually now just denying that he's old. They're just denying that he's 80 years old or nearly 80 years old. All this dude is saying is that they're both old men. Joe Biden, 80 or so, and Donald Trump, 77. Old men. Old men. That's okay. They're old guys. Just be what you are. I mean, that's not exactly in line with Donald Trump's whole thing. He's bald. No, I'm not. He's fat. No, I'm not. He's pale. No, I'm not. I'm this other thing. Who knows what the teeth are like under those veneers? We'll never know because, no, I'm not. But for her to say, you can't say that. 2/3 of the American people say Joe Biden is too old. Not that he's cognitively not prepared to be president again, that he's too old. Just the number, just the age. He's too old, 2/3 say. But they're not saying that about Donald Trump. Well, if they say he's too old and the guy who's 2.5 years or so his junior isn't too old, what are you talking about? This is an attempt to try to slide back into Donald Trump's good graces. So he'll stop attacking her because let me tell you, I've never been personally attacked by Donald Trump. He was so hurt, he blocked me on Twitter after I said something about John McCain. But he is someone who understands the power and the weight of his statements, that if he puts somebody on blast on social media, the unwashed, low information rubes who color themselves fans of his, who venerate him, who are members of the cult, they will go on the attack. And she doesn't want to be subject to that. That's what's happening here. But it's just embarrassing. Why can't they just face reality, deal with reality on reality's terms? You can't say he's nearly 70 or nearly 80 without being corrected. Well, he's 77. You can't say he's an old man. No, he's vital. He's got the greatest brain. He's so energetic. Is this what we want in a president of the United States? Someone who is so fragile, so physically weak, mentally weak, self-esteem just non-existence. If Donald Trump wasn't a wildly wealthy man, he would be a quivering pulp of just nonsense. He would be someone that wouldn't be able to function if not for his money, because he's not a handsome fella. He's certainly not smart. He's not physically capable. All the things that he wants everyone to think he is not. If not for the money, who knows what we would have on our hands? Probably some kind of a state-to-state serial killer or something, really just trying to compensate for what he doesn't got going on. Anyway, who knows? Maybe I'm right. It's not good. It doesn't portend good things for the United States that these are our two choices. And one of them, we have two choices. And one, I'm certainly not putting Joe Biden on the same plane as Donald Trump. We have two choices. And one of them is this guy that I'm talking about. That's scary. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work, helping become a channel member of this work, and produce what we're doing here. Click the join button below for $1.99 a month, $2 a month. You can help support in a huge way. I know it sounds like $2, what's that going to do? But if I'm able to get a certain percentage of the audience to become channel members, we could really change what we do here, and I would appreciate it very much. Hit the super thanks button. Go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on the social medias. I'm at Dollemore. And as always, I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.